What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weiss.
Jeremy Weiss here. I'm the host of Inspired Insider podcast. This was actually a special episode. And before we get to the interview, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their dream 100 relationships. And how do we do that? We actually help you run your podcast. We are an easy button for you, any business, to help launch and run your podcast. We do strategy, accountability, and full execution of your podcast. And you know, for me, the number one thing in my life is relationships. I'm always looking at ways to give to my best relationships. And I found no better way to do that over the past decade than to profile the people and companies I most admire on this planet and share with the world what they're working on. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should. If you have questions, you can go to rise25.com to learn more. Also on the podcast, you could check out an episode we did on the 5 different types of podcast episodes you must create. So check that out and get ready for the episode. We're live. This is inspiredinsider.com and Dr. Jeremy Weiss. I'm here with Blair Feldman, who is co-founder of Retainer Club and Mouthguard Club. And Blair, we're in his headquarters here in Arizona. Blair, just tell people a little bit about Retainer Club, and we'll talk about Mouthguard Club too.
Yeah, so Retainer Club, we founded about 6 years ago. My partner and I, Craig Weiss, who I always say is not a dentist or orthodontist. He's a patent attorney and then was the former CEO of a consumer products company that he grew from 10 million to $1 billion valuation in just 3 years. So he was a great guy to sort of partner up with to bring this idea that I had in my orthodontic offices for easy, affordable retainer replacement. Which is so needed, nowadays, especially. Everyone likes to do their shopping online. When does it happen? When your son or daughter comes to you and says they lost or broke their retainer, it happens at like 9 at night. And what are you going to do? The traditional way is you wait till Monday morning and you call the office and you hope they get back to you, and then they schedule and you take the kids out of school. And then you go see the orthodontist or the dentist and get your scans or impressions, and then come back and then do it again a couple of weeks later. So it's just not the way people, want to be serviced nowadays. They want easy, online, affordable. They want like Netflix, Amazon. So we created a way for orthodontists to service their patients and replace retainers easy, online, affordably. So Retainer Club is basically like Dollar Shave Club for retainers, but done on behalf of the orthodontist. And so it's been 6 or 7 years, and we're in more than half the states in the U.S., still growing really rapidly, and looking for new dentists and orthodontists to partner with who believe that this would be a great service for their patients. And the ultimate result is patients get to maintain their orthodontic results basically indefinitely, and also get that clean, fresh set of retainers delivered right to their house, always with like a message from their dentist or orthodontist. It's a great service. We get incredible feedback from patients around the country, and orthodontists and dentists really, really love it.
What's an example so people can kind of understand how it works from an office that you work with?
Yeah, so we've had offices that sort of want to do a service like this for their patients, and they start it in their office only to find that it kind of gets out of control real quick. Most dentists and orthodontists aren't in the manufacturing, product fulfillment, marketing, business. They're in the for orthodontists, they're in the teeth improvement, teeth correction business. So when it gets out of control, a lot of people look for some solutions, and we're the perfect solution for that. So basically, you can outsource it to us. We can do it for you, and we can basically allow you to focus on treatment. And so we've had many offices that do that, and sometimes offices just get really large, so they get multiple locations and multiple doctors. And it's really hard. The biggest problem we hear nowadays is staffing. Staffing is challenging and difficult. And I just heard a story last week of an orthodontist who had a program in their office for replacing retainers. It was getting busy, and they were now having staffing changes. And so the orthodontist told me my number one assistant was now running in the back and making retainers when she could have been helping him and working on profitable treatment. And so he's like, I need help. So they come to us, they find us, and we're easy to implement in the system, easy for teams to sort of bring on, and really just you get value right away.
So those offices just do a scan and then you can save it in your database?
Yeah, so the scan, and then they use our portal. We create a partner portal for them to add the patient in, and that scan gets sent to us here in Scottsdale, and then we manufacture the retainers and get them shipped out to the office for delivery in 7 days. The first set, we always love to go to the office so the orthodontist can verify it's a great fit, and then future sets can be delivered right to the patient.
So how did you meet Craig?
So Craig and I have been really close friends for over 20 years. We met through our wives, actually. And Craig was always a super inspiring businessman, really. Whether it was patents, and he had amazing stories about some of the patents he worked with, or whether it was some of his other interests. So I loved being around him. And I remember when he was with his company, Enjoy, I remember going to see their new facility out here in Scottsdale and saying, like, do you need an in-house orthodontist? And he said, no, but I have a feeling someday we're going to work together on a project. So that's kind of how we got together on this.
And what is it like transitioning from being a practitioner to, I guess, co-founder of Retainer Club, Mouthguard Club?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely interesting. I feel like I learn something new every day. I feel like, orthodontists and dentists are business owners, small business owners, sometimes medium and very large business owners. And you sort of a lot of times do everything. I think my role now is very specific. I work with kind of the product expert and the subject matter expert. And then I work with a team of really talented people. I think probably the most interesting thing that's different from a dental or orthodontic practice is I spend my weeks with people who are sort of 10 times smarter than me in all their fields. And it's very different than being a practice owner. I think where you work with a different set and a different base of people that oftentimes you're managing. And, I'm not working with anybody that I'm managing. I'm really working with people that are sort of leading the way in all their sort of areas of expertise.
So I want to talk about Mouthguard Club too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see this, but what is this?
So this is our event in a box. So we try and make it easy for dentists and orthodontists that want to bring custom sports mouthguards to their patients. We make it easy. We kind of put everything they need in the box. We put one of our water bottles, which you've seen. So Craig and I sort of looked at the idea that every athlete needs hydration, but they also want a place to store their mouthguard. So we integrated a swivel-out mouthguard holder in there. You can put other things in there. You can put your retainers, your keys, nutrition supplement, maybe a key fob, some change or money in there. And this area right here can be branded with office information. So it's a great sort of novel branding opportunity. So we've got the water bottles in the box. We can put the mouthguards in there, sort of an instruction sheet on how to host a really successful mouthguard event in your practice.
So the same scanner that people use for the retainers can be used for mouthguards too?
Exactly. Yeah. And so we're basically all digital. So this information comes to us digitally through the scan, and whether you're scanning an athlete or whether you're scanning a retainer patient, it all comes the same way. I mean, for us, the piece that we love most about Mouthguard Club and Mouthguard events for dentists and orthodontists is that there's no really better marketing way that I can imagine to bring 20 or 30 potential new patients into your practice who are interested in this mouthguard and this superior mouthguard that fits great, feels great, performs great. And of course, it's your design. There's no better way to bring 20 or 30 people into your practice that get a scan, that can now meet you, see this cool technology, and then ultimately, hopefully become a patient of the practice.
How have you seen doctors use it or yourself use it as a marketing tool?
Yeah, so the events to me are the best way. And I think the most important thing for orthodontists to think about if they want to do a mouthguard event is don't think about this as a one-time event, in your practice, maybe every fall for football. This should be an ongoing year-long thing. So it's the fall sports, winter sports, spring sports, we get into summer activities, and then it starts all over again. So really positioning your office so that, you're providing sports mouthguards all year round for all your patients and all their sports and activities, I think is the most powerful way to introduce it to marketing. We have offices that do kind of all variations of these events. Some hand out just kind of generic boil and bites, and that's sort of level one. Level two would be just a single.
I've done that. It's terrible.
Yeah, they're tough. I mean, it's not my favorite way, and it's not what I would consider a great mouthguard. It's better than nothing, and it's showing some level of support of your community and athletes in your community. And then the next level would be something fully custom, with design and graphics and the practice logo on here, team logo, and the kids get to put their name and number on one side. So it's really it's a much higher level. There's team unity. A lot of times we've had teams that come in and they have a message, for their year. So they put their team message on there. So every time they put their mouthguard in, they sort of remind themselves of that message. But there's so many great stories that we've had from practices using this to turn this into a practice building event, a practice marketing event, while also giving your patients the best, removable oral appliance that's this great mouth guard.
Yeah. And obviously we're here, and I wanted to scan my daughters for their camp, but who else is good to have these custom mouth guards? I mean, camps are good.
So camps was sort of your idea that you brought to me. I think camps are brilliant. I mean, these kids are out there, they're gone for, whatever, summer, all of the summer. They're playing these sports, and, you want to make sure, first of all, they're protected. They're wearing, something good as opposed to a boil and bite. And we always say, in terms of like, how many do you need? Like having one is like having none, because if you lose it, you're out. Having a backup's a great idea. And if you have 3 sets with you, which is what your camp actually recommends, now you're sort of covered for the whole summer, and you've got that taken care of. And on our side, we have the ability, if you have a custom mouth guard through us, you go through all 3, or maybe you only bring 2 and you need another one, we can get one sent to you and delivered within a week. So you don't have to stop playing for that reason. Mm-hmm. So camps are great. Any kind of contact sport. So it's required by the NCAA in football, field hockey, lacrosse, and ice hockey. But then there's about 24 other sports that they recommend, that they're contact sports that they recommend, custom mouth guards.
So the other people, though, there's camps, but who's usually responsible for this? The trainers, or who? Yeah,
so on the teams, we tend to work with the athletic directors or the trainers. So they're managing all the bandages and, footwear and all the, team, equipment. So this fits really well with the team manager, the athletic director, that they can manage this as part of the equipment list. Other groups we work with, just professional trainers who are working with boxers and UFC and jiu-jitsu and, all these sort of martial arts that really could benefit from this too.
Talk about, you guys have some really cool things that you've created, not just mouth guards, but there's these cases. We're looking at this water bottle that's got the contraption. You have several patents.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so that's the benefit of having a patent attorney as a partner, is that we've got trademarks and patents on many things. So we've got 4 products that we brought to market. We've got the water bottle. We've got the mouth guard case. It's sort of nice because it's got this great, sort of kind of feel. And you can see the mouth guard. So you spent your time designing it. You can actually see it in there. It's great. We looked at the retainer case. The traditional retainer case is basically like a piece of plastic. And it's meant to be a throwaway. We wanted to have something that's more sustainable. So this version basically is dishwasher safe. It's got these little ridges in here that help, promote drying of the retainer. And it's nice and kind of got like a strong kind of feel to it. You just throw it in the dishwasher, and basically can last forever. And then the last one was kind of cool. It's been in development for a while, and it should be coming out this year, is a UV sterilization case that's really nice. You can kind of basically kill all the germs, 99% of the germs on your retainer or mouth guard. And it takes about 5 minutes of UV light to do that. And so we've been working on that for a couple of years. We started it before COVID, actually, and it's coming out now. So it'll be available this year.
That's perfect.
Yeah, right.
So, Blair, where can people find out more? Where should they go online?
Yeah, so real easy. Retainer Club is retainerclub.com, and Mouthguard Club is mouthguardclub.com.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. I'm here at the Retainer Club, Mouthguard Club headquarters here. Just walking through. You can see Blair used to be one of the orthodontists for the Phoenix Suns. You can see he's got all of the signatures here of the Suns. They're actually in here doing scans.
Ready to finish that?
What do you want? Or here, right? Jolie or Julia?
And then the back where all the magic happens.
Cute. Oh, funny.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I feel like 100 grand.